Okay, so we are starting with this first session of C. Just an introduction session. May not take long time. Don't worry about it. If somebody wants to has some plans after 7 o'clock, that's okay. Just we are going to understand uh, very basics today. How many of you know this guy? Just raise your hand. Those who know this person, if you have seen him before. Definitely is not Indian. Doesn't look like. Oh, that's good. Okay. So those who know, can you write in the chat box, who's this guy? Can you write in chat box? Who's this guy or who? Where you have seen him? Have you seen him live? No, right? Okay, that's fine. So for others, this is a Dennis Ritchie. Dennis Ritchie, who has developed this C programming language. And as we are learning C programming language, we should know the inventor, we should know the creator. Who is the creator of C? Is this Dennis Ritchie? And let's take his blessing before we start the C new batch. All right, I'm starting with a very interesting question, guys. Is C computer language? How many of you think C is computer language? Just raise your hands. किती लोकांना वाटतं की सी कम्प्युटर लँग्वेज आहे आणि हात वरती करा. And those who cannot raise your hands, of course you can participate through the chat box. Okay, fantastic. Good, that's fine. So roughly 25% of the class thinks C is computer language, right? Okay. Does computer really understand C? Think. आपण काय म्हणतो? मशीन लँग्वेज, डॉग्स लँग्वेज, बर्ड्स लँग्वेज, कॅट्स लँग्वेज. म्हणजे प्रत्येकाला प्रत्येक एक भाषा असते ना. What we speak right now is human being language. Correct? तर खरंच कम्प्युटरला सी कळतं का हो? विचार करण्याची गोष्ट आहे ना. And if yes, if computer understands C language, then while buying computer, we'll have to ask them, हो मला C चा कम्प्युटर द्या ना. C प्लस चा कम्प्युटर द्या, जावाचा कम्प्युटर द्या. I'll have to buy a computer in that way, right? We never do this. We never go to the market and ask, I want to buy a computer for C. Right? So try and understand कि C or computer does not understand C. Okay? So if C is not computer language, then is C natural language? Like Hindi, English, Marathi? Do we speak right now? Is there anyone here who speaks in C? Printf, printf, scanf? No, right? So what is this? How exactly this is working? Let's understand this. You can see here this user and there's a computer. What computer understands is only binary. Right? We need to understand how people communicate to the computer. So if you want to communicate, we need same language. For example, if we are right now, though we are sitting at different places, you are at your home, I'm at my home. So we are at different places and we are still communicating. Through what? Through a language, right? The language that I'm using right now is English. मी तुमच्याशी जे काही संवाद साधतोय आता, मी जे काही बोलतोय तुमच्याशी आता, त्यासाठी मी लँग्वेज वापरतोय, भाषा वापरतोय, ते मराठी वापरतोय फॉर एक्झाम्पल. So it has to be same language, right? If I start speaking German or French or Spanish, you may not understand, right? So very important. Rule number one, if you want to communicate, the sender and the receiver, two people who want to communicate, should speak same language, correct? Otherwise, you're not going to understand, right? So user says, I know only English, or you might say, I know only Marathi, or I know only Hindi, natural languages. And computer says, I know only binary. Heard of this word before? Binary? How many heard this word before? Binary. Very important terminology in computer science. तुम्हाला वर्ड माहित पाहिजे बायनरी. Very important. So binary, just like we got a decimal numbers 0 to 9, there's a hexadecimal numbering system 0 to 16. There's an octal numbering system 0 to 7. Similarly, there's a binary numbering or binary language in which binary, bi means 2, in which we use only 2 symbols. And what are those 2 symbols? 0 and 1. The computerला फक्त बायनरीची भाषा कळते. Zeros and ones. Either it's a 0 voltage or 5. That's it. There's nothing in between. We're not going to go into electronics part. What you have to understand is the software part. Everything inside a computer is in binary. That's why I showed you an example there, 1010. Okay. Now try to understand the problem. Computer understands only binary. We understand only natural language like Hindi, English or Marathi, for example. So how to communicate? We have to speak same language. So either I have to learn binary or computer has to learn English. If computer learns English, we'll start programming in English language. Now we don't have to join any classes or programming any institutes. Correct? You all know English language, you can start programming. So now problem is, if you want to communicate, somebody has to compromise. Computer says, I know only binary. I'll say I know only English. Correct? So we'll compromise. Okay, let's take another example. The computer who is going to cook our instructions, execute our instructions, programs. Let's imagine, suppose in Diwali, I went to, let's say, South India, and from there I got a cook from South India, and he's ultimate cook, makes wonderful, prepares wonderful South Indian dishes. His only problem is he knows only Kannada. You can use any language. I'm not commenting on the language. I'm just telling you he's from South India and he knows only that his native language. Let's say, for example, Kannada. And I don't know Kannada. I know Marathi or English, let's say. So how do we communicate? I hired him. He's my cook. त्या कुकला घरी आणलंय, छान डिश बनवतो. आम्ही कम्युनिकेट कसं करायचं? That's a question, ना? If I speak in English, order him, please make me dosa, he will not understand. If he tells something, I don't understand Kannada. So how to communicate? And that's the problem now. Who will compromise? Being a master, I'll say, why will I compromise? Why will I learn Kannada? I don't want to learn Kannada. Let him learn Marathi or English. I'm the master. He's working for me. Correct? So that cook says, yes, mere Aka, I'm ready. Teach me. Teach me Marathi. Teach me English. Okay, I will learn. The problem is, how will you teach? To teach him Marathi or English, you're teaching Kannada which you don't know. Are you getting a problem? Right? Same here. Either we have to learn computers binary or computer has to learn English. Both are difficult, no? If computer has to learn English, how will you teach? दॅट इज अवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. कसं शिकवणार त्याला, आपल्या कन्सर्ट थोडीच येतं. सो व्हॉट इज इमिडिएट सोल्युशन? काय करायला लागेल? आयदर वी हॅव टू लर्न. आपल्याला विचार करा ना, इफ यू नॉट अंडरस्टँडिंग बायनरी इट्स ओके, तो वेगळा विचार करा. आपल्याला तुम्ही मला की ठीक आहे, कशाला कन्नड शिकायचंय, बॉडी लँग्वेज वापरा, डॉसा डॉसा, यू कॅन टीच body languages that works for human beings. Will that work for computer? If I start my webcam or camera of my laptop, and if I use the body language and tell computer something, will it understand? It will not, right? Of course, now the research has really gone to really far, and there are ways we can use gestures, and computers are sensing voice. So we are really progressed. But what I'm just trying to tell you here is, it's difficult. So what exactly happens? By the way, let's also understand what are difficulties in learning binary language. Okay, we'll see that in soon. Now, how exactly it works? की आपण दोघांनी काहीतरी कॉम्प्रोमाइज करायला पाहिजे. कम्प्युटर अंडरस्टँड ओनली बायनरी, वी अंडरस्टँड ओनली इंग्लिश और हिंदी और मराठी. सो आपण एक मिडवे सोल्युशन काढले. इट्स इन बिटवीन इंटर सोल्युशन. वी हॅव categorized programming languages or computer languages so called, and we both decided to learn. नीट ऐका मी काय सांगतोय ते. आपल्याला सी येत नाही, कम्प्युटरलाही सी कळत नाही. आपण सी ही कम्प्युटर लँग्वेज म्हणतोय कारण ती आपली नाही, आपण सी मध्ये बोलत नाही. तुझं कम्प्युटर विचारला की तुझी सी लँग्वेज आहे का कम्प्युटर, मला पण सी कळत नाही, ती माणसांची लँग्वेज त्यांनी काढली आहे. मग काय प्रकार आहे हा सी नक्की? तर बेसिकली फॉर कम्युनिकेशन वी हॅव डिझाइन्ड दिस इन बिटवीन सोल्युशन, इंटरमिडिएट सोल्युशन. हे मध्ये असे काढलेले कॉम्प्रोमाइज आहे. कम्प्युटर लँग्वेजेस किंवा टू बी व्हेरी स्पेसिफिकली प्रोग्रामिंग लँग्वेजेस, अँड वी बोथ आर लर्निंग. As a user, I'm going to learn computer language. For example, you are learning right now with the help of me. So I'm teaching you. That's your way of learning, because since childhood somebody is teaching you. Your parents, probably your sister, brother, seniors, teachers, they teach you. Nowadays Google is the best teacher. All videos are there. But how computer will learn? Who will teach computer? So computer's memory, RAM, there are two types of memories, if you know. There's an internal memory, RAM, and there's an external memory, hard disk. We save our programs, files, everything in the hard disk of computer. But whatever program we write or whatever things we type, everything is temporarily in the RAM. Have you heard of RAM? RAM is random access memory. Full form sodun dya. Point is, this RAM is internal memory, and a property of the internal memory, it is volatile. What do you mean by volatile? तर हा रामभाऊ विसराळू आहे. कम्प्युटर स्टार्ट केला की रॅम मध्ये डेटा स्टोअर होतो. वेन यू शट डाउन द कम्प्युटर, रॅम मधला डेटा जातो. इट्स गोइंग टू लूज द डेटा फ्रॉम द रॅम. रिमेंबर दिस. सो कम्प्युटर इज गोइंग टू फॉरगेट. इफ आई व्हाट डिड यू टीच कम्प्युटर, like if you watch that movie Ghazni, like that. So computer is going to forget moment you shut down. And when you start the computer, it doesn't know. So what we do is, we use a translator. Can be interpreter, assembler, compiler. So we use a translator. Every time we write a program in C language, C++, Java, it has to be translated into machine language, means binary language, means ones and zeros. And this is how it works. Okay, let's understand in detail. आज फक्त थोडं बेसिक समजून घेऊया आपण आज. ठीक आहे. सो ॲज अ युजर वी राईट प्रोग्राम्स. आपण प्रोग्राम लिहितो. तो प्रोग्राम कम्प्युटरला डायरेक्ट कळत नाही. So that program is sent to the translator to translate into binary. This translator in case of C is compiler. So translator translates this C program or in this Java program, C++ program into binary, also called as machine language. And then computer understands binary code. So computer executes binary code. I will explain Marathi. आपण प्रोग्रामर जी लोक आहोत ती प्रोग्राम लिहितो सी मध्ये, सी प्लस मध्ये, जावा मध्ये, आणि मग हे जे प्रोग्राम आपण लिहिले ते कम्प्युटरला डायरेक्ट कळत नाहीत, तर त्याला आपल्याला त्या प्रोग्राम्सला ट्रान्सलेटरला पाठवायला लागतं. आणि जो ट्रान्सलेटर तो प्रोग्राम बायनरीमध्ये कन्व्हर्ट करतो आणि कम्प्युटरला बायनरी कळतं, त्यामुळे शेवटी फायनली एक्झिक्यूट काय होतं, काय रन होतो आपला प्रोग्राम, तो बायनरीमध्ये असतो. त्यामुळे कम्प्युटरला डायरेक्टली सी कळत नाही, त्याला बायनरीमध्ये ट्रान्सलेट करून सांगावं लागतं. याचं काम ट्रान्सलेटर करत असतो. क्लिअर सगळ्यांना? ओके. So what is this translator? Is this some kind of human being? The way we have got Japanese translator, German translators? No. We can't give translator in the computer. So translator is also a program, a software kind, which will help you to translate your C programs into binary every time. Okay. These translators are of three types. Interpreter. For example, basic language has used interpreter. Assembler, if anybody has heard of assembly language, that translator is called as assembler. And for high level languages like C, C++, Java, we use compiler. तर आपल्याला काय लागणार आहे, तर compiler लागणार आहे. ठीक आहे. Now another interesting thing, quickly, if you look at this evolution of programming languages, सगळ्यात पहिल्यांदा काय आलं, तर मशीन लेवल लँग्वेज आली, म्हणजे बायनरी. आता विचार करा की त्यावेळेच्या मशीन लँग्वेज किंवा बायनरी लँग्वेज होती, फक्त तेवढीच लँग्वेज होती, तर प्रोग्रामिंग कसं केलं जात असेल, फक्त बायनरीमध्ये, हो की नाही? सो ट्राय टायपिंग प्रोग्राम इन बायनरी. इमॅजिन, सी फॉर एक्झाम्पल, आय वॉन्ट टू प्रिंट समथिंग ऑन द स्क्रीन, अँड इन सी प्रोग्राम और सी लँग्वेज देयर इज अ इन्स्ट्रक्शन कॉल्ड एज प्रिंटएफ. प्रिंटएफ नावाचं फंक्शन आहे जे वापरून आपल्याला प्रिंट करता येतं स्क्रीनवरती. आता हे प्रिंटएफ फंक्शन आपल्याला लो लेवल लँग्वेजमध्ये लिहायचं झालं, म्हणजे असेंब्लीमध्ये, त्यासाठी एक इंटरप्ट असतो, तो कॉल करायला लागतो. मूव ए, दॅट इंटरप्ट इज 21H बेसिकली. तर त्यात जर मी तीच गोष्ट जर बायनरीत लिहायला लागलो, तर मला काय लिहायला लागेल, 0100 100 10 10 10 01 10 00 1111 100011 1011 1011 1000 1000 1011 1011 1011 1000 11 0111 0101 1000 110. तुम्हाला एवढी मोठी बायनरीची इन्स्ट्रक्शन लिहायला लागेल. आता विचार करा की हे जर प्रिंटएफ असेल तर आपल्याला इनपुट एक्सेप्ट क्लास स्कॅनएफ वापरायला लागतं, त्यासाठी परत एवढा मोठा काहीतरी लॉंग बायनरी कोड असणार आहे. ज्यांना फारसं कळलं नाही मी काय मोठा मंत्र म्हटला बायनरीमध्ये, त्यांच्यासाठी एक सिंपल तुम्हाला गोष्ट सांगतो की आपण कम्प्युटरमध्ये जेव्हा ए टाईप करतो ना, ए, कॅन यू सी दिस राईट, आपण जेव्हा ए टाईप करतो तेव्हा ए जे की प्रेस करतो, इंग्लिश अल्फाबेट ए, तेव्हा ए स्टोअर नाही होत मित्रांनो. तेव्हा आतमध्ये काय स्टोअर होतं, तर त्या एचा बायनरी म्हणजे 01000001 हा स्टोअर होतो, आणि स्मॉल ए असेल तर 01100001 स्टोअर होतो. आता हे काय आहे, कसं आहे, थोडंसं टेक्निकल म्हणून सांगेन नंतर हळूहळू कोर्समध्ये शिकायला मला मिळेल. पॉईंट सांगायचा काय की आपण जेव्हा कॅपिटल ए प्रेस करतो की किंवा कॅपिटल ए टाईप करतो, सेव्ह करतो, तेव्हा कॅपिटल ए स्टोअर नाही होत, त्या एचा बायनरी स्टोअर होतो. लक्षात येत आहे? तर हे मला काही बायनरी पाठ आहेत, कारण मी आता यातनं 25 वर्षात काम केलेलं किंवा कळून पिलेलो आहे. तर सांगायचा पॉईंट काय की तुम्हाला जर मशीन लँग्वेज प्रोग्रामिंग करायचं असेल तर फक्त एक अल्फाबेटच्या ऐवजी बायनरीमध्ये तुम्हाला एवढं सगळं लिहायला लागतं. म्हणजे विचार करा की मशीन लँग्वेजमध्ये बायनरी प्रोग्रामिंग करणं किती डिफिकल्ट होईल. एक तर प्रत्येक गोष्टी तुम्हाला बायनरी पाठ करायला लागतील. म्हणजे आपण आता प्रोग्रामिंग लँग्वेज शिकवायला गेल्यावरती स्टार्टला आपल्याला पहिलं बायनरी सायन्सच सुरू करायला लागेल. म्हणजे ते मंत्रच पाठ करत बसायला, पहाटे 5ला उठून बायनरी पाठ करायला लागले, उठून 0101 100011, हो की नाही? एवढं पाठ करायचे लोक काय म्हटलं, कशाला पाठ करताय, भिंतीवर लिहा, भिंतीवर बघून टायपिंग करा, हो ना. पण शेवटी टाईप काय करायचंय, बायनरी. आणि फक्त 2च की लागतील. ह्या एक ऍडव्हान्टेज म्हणा, 2 कीज. कधी त्याने बोटं पण दुखतील म्हणा. कारण नुसतं कंटिन्यू दिवसभर फक्त 0 टाईप करायचं आहे, तर 2 बोटं तुमची दुखणार आहेत. हो की नाही? वेगळे आजार घडतील त्यातनं. आणि शेवटी समजा मला एक 10-15 लाईनचा प्रोग्राम लिहायचा, छोटा प्रोग्राम लिहायचा असेल, तो जर मी सी मधला 10-15 लाईनचा प्रोग्राम मी जर बायनरीमध्ये लिहायला गेलो, सो दॅट प्रोग्राम विल बिकम thousands of lines of code. Now when I type continuously ones and zeros, thousands of lines of code, how will I understand what has gone wrong? There is no compiler required because already it is in binary language, already it is in machine language. Machine will directly understand it. So what you do is you run the program. When you run the program and when you don't get desired output, then you realize my program has gone wrong. Okay नाही? प्रोग्राम आपण रन केला आणि कळलं की आपल्याला आउटपुट चुकतंय, मग समजतं की अरे प्रोग्राम काहीतरी चुकलाय, काहीतरी गोष्टी झालेली आहे. Now how will you figure out what has gone wrong? You go back to the program, stare at it. You find one full page ones and zeros, page down one full set ones and zeros, page down zeros and ones. हजारो ones and zeros समोर. Can you figure out what is your mistake? What might have gone wrong? Think for a minute. काय चुकलं असेल? Visualize. Try to be in that era. त्या काळात लोक प्रोग्रामिंग कशी करत, विचार करून बघायचं. व्हेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. By mistake, when there are 4 zeros, I might have typed 5 or I might have typed 1 zero less, 3. माझ्याकडे चुकून एखादा 0 एक्स्ट्रा पडला असेल, एखादा 1 0 कमी पडला असेल. By mistake, instead of typing 0, I might have typed 1. Or by mistake, instead of typing 1, I might have typed 0. Mistakes are possible. Human is to error. Yes or no? मग कुठला 0 येतो, कुठला 1 येतो? How will you find the mistake? How will you point out which one is that 0, which one is that 1 where you made the mistake? You have to literally go through every code, every line and check, cross-check each and every line. It's very difficult. First mistake can be in your by-hearting. Second mistake can be your copying. Third mistake can be your typing. So it's really time-consuming. It's very difficult to write a program in binary, in machine language, to by-heart those instructions, to modify that code. And see, that's the reason you don't have anywhere course for learning binaries. Have you seen anywhere course? Online, offline, anywhere? Any institute saying that we teach you binary? Or does that BCS stand for binary computer science, something like that? No. You will not find anyone teaching you binaries because it's that difficult. Try to understand this. Nowadays in this generation, there are very rare people who understand binary. But what I'm to just tell you here is, it is difficult to write programs binary. So what some super brains did, they developed a low-level language called as assembly. And then assembly when the programming class was keli. If anybody, eventually I think BCA students will have electronics syllabus. BCA electronics nahi hai, but BCA students like electronics subject hai. So in second year when you learn electronics, you will learn 8051 architecture. And there you will get the opportunity to learn this assembly language. Okay. Still the problem was कि this low level language or assembly language is machine dependent. प्रत्येक मशीनची वेगवेगळी आहे. मग काय गरज पडली पुढची की this is still not enough. We want to write only one program on any computer or anywhere, and that program should run anywhere. Same program should run on Windows, same program should run on Linux, same program should run on Unix, any machine. And with that intention, the next generation of languages started. That is called as high level language. Why I'm telling you this? Because C is high level language. Okay. What is the feature of high level language? Programs written in C language are portable. Remember this. Portable म्हणजे काय? They are not dependent on the machine. It's independent of machine. आणि मग नंतर C language मध्ये भरपूर काळ प्रोग्रामिंग चाललं. By the way, C was developed in 1972. So after that, when a lot of code was written in high level languages like C, for example, Then they discovered some problems, security of data and all. And then they started with the concept of, with the security of data point of view, object-oriented languages, OOL. And there's a concept if you've heard of object-oriented programming. Now, right now in this course, in this batch, I'm not going to teach you any object-oriented language, object-oriented programming or C++. We're going to focus on C, and C is high-level language. तुम्हाला जे काय मी एक्सप्लेन केलं आता सगळं हे, ह्याचा bottom line was only to tell you what C is high-level language. If you have made some notebook, I'll recommend you to make a special notebook for our C programming. एक वेगळी separate वही करा. Okay, don't mix everything in one notebook. Keep your separate notebook for your college or if you have other classes. Make one separate notebook for C where you can write your C programs, you can write your practice programs, you can try out your logic, and you find some important point, you can write in that. All right. We have our class notes for C, which I'll think at the end of the course I can give you those notes. Now whether it is charged or free, I'll think on it, I'll discuss with you. Don't worry about it. That's not a big deal. So point is, C is high level language. So as we just now described, to recap fast before we stop, machine level language म्हणजे binary, execution fast होतं. Those who understand only English, those who understand Marathi. Anyways, written here on the slide, you can read it on your own. I'm just explaining quickly in Marathi for these guys. तर execution fast होतं कारण ट्रान्सलेशनची गरज नसते. It's already a machine language, computer understands it. Problem काय? Drawbacks, difficult to learn, difficult to understand where it is going wrong. That's called debugging. खूप लेंदी कोड तयार होतो. मला असं सांगितलं तर प्रिंटफचा कोड. It's a time consuming for programming. Programming करायला खूप वेळ जाणार आहे. जरी काय काढलं, low level language like assembly, easy to understand, easy to learn, readable पण आहे, easy to debug, but it is still machine dependent. It is processor dependent. By the way, you should know in computer there is a CPU, and CPU च्या आतमध्ये there's a chip called as a microprocessor which actually execute the instructions. Okay. Computer मध्ये काय काय असतं, हार्ड डिस्क असते. तुम्ही बघित थोडंफार तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना नॉलेज असेल ना कम्प्युटर फंडामेंटल्सचं. If it doesn't have that knowledge, let us know. I can arrange a separate session for you to tell you what is the processor, what is the RAM, what is hard disk, what is computer, CPU काय असतो. I think it's not required right now. And then आपल्याला लो लेवल लँग्वेज प्रोग्राम जरी लिहिलात असेंब्लीमध्ये, still it is not a machine language, it is not a binary. You have to translate it. So the translator for assembly language is called as assembler. Again, programs are lengthy. So what is need here? High level language. Easy to understand, easy to program and debug. Program size छोटा होणार आहे कारण आपण लूप लिहिता येतात जे असेल लिहिता येत नाहीत. And portability, that's the main feature. We can write programs and run anywhere. Those who know C++, C++ is a object oriented language, C is procedure oriented language. If you don't understand, it's okay, that's fine. Data is freely floating, that's a drawback, and that's why they went to the object oriented languages. All right. Okay, so I think we can stop here and we can discuss it from tomorrow.